Hey Scorpio, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to your reading. These are general readings and they're not going to apply to everybody equally perfectly. So take what works, leave what doesn't. I may catch your energy wave this week or I may not. So we'll see. These cards have all been pre-shuffled and prepared. And we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck. What do we have for Scorpio? What's our accurate... Okay, we'll take that. What else we got for Scorpio today? That's too many. I can't take that. We're not going to be here for 4 hours. Although I'm excited about your enthusiasm. Let's do this thing here, little deck. I'm glad you're ready to talk. Perfection. Thank you. All right. Whew. We have Secrets and Bloom. Your mind is connecting to the greater universe. You are blooming. You are growing. This is sort of our Frida Kahlo card. She's listening to the secrets of the universe. She's got, her mind is just crackling open. Your mind is blooming. Your mind is opening up to all the possibilities, all the everything, the whole world. Love, almost. It almost seems like you've got love on your mind. You've got love in your ears. You've got, there's such a purity here. It's been a long time coming though. It's and it might this blooming that you're experiencing of your mind might be something from a past pain or hurt that you've been mulling over and that you've been trying to understand and come to terms with, and that path is causing this blooming growth. I'm seeing this with the pearls, so something very pearl-like, some sort of little grain of sand that got into your psyche, and over the years it's sat back there, and you are and now you're a little clamshell, you're a little Venus here, and your clamshell is popping open and offering this little pearl of wisdom to the world. And you are blooming. You're ready. You're ready to share this pearl of wisdom. You've listened, you've heard. Yeah, it's created this past little grain of sand that got inside of you somehow has made you powerful and strong. And there's so much clarity here. You're very clear on, you're becoming clearer and clearer on who you are. Very connected to the universe. And then you're having this secrets moment. So you have a set of keys here to unlock this secret. It's your secret. You own it. It's yours to talk about whenever you are ready. And you are taking your own sweet time. You are not doing this on anybody else's timeline. I was just talking about the Venus and the clamshell. This is like the clamshell. And you've got the key to open that clamshell. And there's a pearl inside there. You've got that key to open that clamshell, and you've been taking your time. But it's about cracking something open. It might be time to crack that secret open. That's up to you, because if it's your secret, it's yours to hold on to for as long as you want. You have a right to everything that goes on between your two ears. It's all, and externally, but that's all you. You get to hold your secrets as long as you want to. But it looks like you are really ready to pop it open and share your pearls of wisdom with the world. Because you're standing there, you've climbed up on the stool, you're standing right next to it, you've got your hand on it, a little possessively, but also just relaxed. You've been with the secret for a long time, and you're just it's yours. You carry it with you, and you've brought your keys this time to it. So you have been thinking about opening it. Maybe normally you keep these keys someplace else. you know, hung up by the door or something like that. You keep those keys someplace else. But today, when you went to visit the secret, you brought them with you because you're definitely contemplating about opening it up. And I think when you do open it up, it's going to open up a whole new world and different experience for you. Your mind's going to open, your heart's going to open, a lot of stuff's going to open when you finally, and it looks like you're close to it, you're ready to it. All right, we're going to go to Moonology. Didn't even get to introduce the deck, but I like it. It's very, see, this is what makes me think that you're very close to sharing your secrets. These cards have been very generous with you. They're not withholding. You know, we had this one pop out at the beginning and this one, and we had all of them, and then this one popped out before I was even able to finish Moonology. So it's feeling in this reading that you may be almost bursting with this secret. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. So whatever you've been holding on to, it's holding on to you, and do not let it hold you back. Your brain is ready to crackle right open. Your heart's ready to crackle open. Don't let this secret, this thing hold you back. You know, you thought you were holding on to it, but that's not actually what's going on here. Don't let your past hold you back, South Node. So bloom and grow and release what you need to release. Talk about it. All right, here's your, and talk about it with someone who's, if it's a secret you've kept for a long time, might be good reasons why you've kept it a secret, so be careful who you're sharing it with. But even sharing it with like a therapist or someone who has a confidentiality agreement can be so healing to bring any kind of secret out into the open like that. And suddenly they're not big and scary. They're not controlling you. They're not anything like that. You know, you can talk about it, and it's not as scary as you thought once you talked about it. There's a scary threshold there, for sure. All right, so Oracle of Mystical Moments. What do we got for Scorpio this week? This is your past, this is your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Well, I can see why you're keeping that secret. It's going to turn everything upside down. Okay, so in your recent past, you have this 10 of Wands. This is a completion of a cycle. This is a burden you're putting down, a burden that you've carried for a long time. This is wheelbarrow load after wheelbarrow load of heavy rocks. This is the moment where all those heavy rocks, ta-da, it's actually a castle coming together. You put the burden down and you build a castle. This is also a base chakra. We've got the hips here. We've got bright red. This has to do with self-worth, with not feeling like you are a burden, with not feeling overly burdened, with not taking on more than is yours to carry, with understanding boundaries and a sense of self-worth. So that's what I'm seeing here with this past pain that created this pearl. This pearl could easily be your own self-worth. You are worthy because you are here. You deserve to be alive because the universe has made it so. Every moment you're alive, you deserve to be here. That's how the universe works, you know. So this is about self-worth. You don't understanding that. You've come to some sort of understanding of self-worth, and you've put down the burden of feeling unworthy, feeling like your past pain defines you, feeling like you don't deserve good rewards. You've really like made a moment. You've really turned a corner here on self-worth. In your present moment, you have the Santa Muerte card, the namesake for the whole deck, the Death card. This is card 13, and it is it's the pregnant woman. You know, she's reached the fullness of her term. She's waiting for the cradle to be filled. She has her scythe. It's time to harvest. Her inner demons are small. She's had to fight them, and it's time. This is about the passage of time. You're waiting very expectantly for something that's out of your hands to happen. And this is, we were talking about thresholds, were we, with this one? This is a threshold moment. This is a moment where everything changes. And there's a death, or not an actual death, but it's massive change. It's a big flop. flip-flop here. So every ending necessitates a new beginning. And so you are on the threshold. When you are pregnant and you're about to give birth, you're not just standing in the threshold, you are the threshold for some being between non-being and existence, non-existence and existence. Your body is the doorway between those two magical worlds. And and then, you're no longer, the one becomes two at birth. So that's the kind of big changes. You aren't just standing on a threshold, you are the threshold for something. And it's a pretty big change here. And you've expected it. It's been coming for a long time. Inner Landscape, this has become one of my favorite cards of the deck. And it's this deck that's made it my favorite. It's the High Priestess. And one thing about the High Priestess is that it's Tarot's way. It's saying that things are in the dark, you can't see very clearly, and you're not supposed to be able to see clearly. And I always thought, like, what the hell, Tarot? I'm coming to you for some clarity, for some answers here. And you're saying, no clarity, no answers. Well, actually, this is the answer. The answer is the journey is more important than the answer right now. So internally, you are working on uncovering yourself. You're doing a lot of self-work, maybe some shadow self-work, maybe working around this grain of sand and creating this pearl, this past pain, and you're creating a pearl in here. You're reading up on it, on how to deal with feelings and emotions and thoughts in your internal landscape. You've got a message here you're not delivering. This could be your secret. Look at her crown. She's got this crown of clear thoughts and clear communications, just like this crown of thoughts and communications, right? And she's got a key in her hand. She's working in the dark. She's working with the darkness. She is the darkness, and she's working with the darkness. And this journey, this personal journey, this personal, spiritual, psychological journey that you're on is your destination right now. The journey is the destination here. That's what that High Priestess card always is a reminder of. In the Seven of Cups, we have an overwhelming situation. So this would normally be lots of options, trying to pick the right one. So you may be feeling like you don't have a lot of options. There's some heartbreak here. And you're not seeing the divine here. You're not getting the guidance that you're seeking and you're craving. And it's very overwhelming. So you may not have the options that you're hoping for in this situation, or also it could just be so overwhelming it's a little bit debilitating. But I mean, I'm seeing you have several keys here that could open this. So you may, the situation may not be as dire as you're thinking it is, because there's some hints here that you have a lot of guidance. So this is where I'm thinking maybe don't let the past hold you back. Maybe there's something overwhelming, or there's an option here that you've picked before that wasn't satisfactory and didn't get you where you wanted to go. But this is saying that that's the past. This option might be the right answer right now. So you're just not seeing the options that you want, or if you are seeing the options, you're just really flooded right now and emotional and not able to make a decision at all. In your environment, you have this Page of Cups. Man, this girl gets around. She's been in almost every reading this month or this week. So we have the Page of Cups. We have in your environment is a person, probably a real person, probably a person who's not you, who is very curious about emotions. This reminds me honestly of a therapist. So maybe you've been working with someone very curious about emotions, or this could be an emotional new beginning that you're having with someone. And this is saying don't let your past pains hold you back as you develop a relationship with someone. This person, though, is not necessarily freely, openly talking about their emotional journey. They have their cup full of emotions, and they're exploring it and looking at it and very curious about it and trying to understand it, seeing where it's at. So, but they're not talking about it. They're not ready to talk about it. They're just sort of feeling their way through this, and with a lot of curiosity, which is really cool. We do want curiosity when it comes to our emotions. It's the best way to deal with emotions. Is very without judgment, but with lots of curiosity. So your to-do list is this King of Swords energy. This is very clear thought, what you're seeking right here. A lot of clarity. So again, we're having this ideas energy come in. We have this, because swords are ideas, and we're having ideas with the High Priestess, and ideas with the Bloom for sure. So you need to have some clarity of thought, become a master of your thoughts, a master of communication. The thing about the King of Swords is he's very fair. He's very fair. Even if he's not just logical, he's also fair. He can bring in the emotion into the logical situation. He can say like, oh yes, the laws are this, this, and this, but you had a mitigating circumstance here, so even though the law technically says, you know, you need 20 years, I'm lowering it down to 5 because I see all these other situations that you were dealing with and how what you did wasn't necessarily clear. Gosh, I really hope that's not happening to anyone, although that does happen every day, going to prison for 5 years. But that's the vibe, is being fair and being clear and being fair and being able to understand mitigating factors. So don't let your past hold you back. This could have been a way someone treated you where you need to like go, yeah, that was wrong for you to treat me, but I can forgive you. Or this could be yourself looking at yourself and forgiving yourself and being being honest, but also gentle, being gently honest with yourself. That's what this card is. So that's your to-do list. That's the energy you're coming into. And combined with this, don't let your past hold you back. I'm saying be gently honest with yourself. Be gentle with yourself as you're also exploring with honesty this deep inner work. Make sure you're bringing compassion for yourself into that. Make sure that your thoughts are clear. And sometimes we're like, you know, there's a phrase that I've heard my whole life called, you know, the harsh truth. And it just seemed like, is that really, truth is harsh? Oh, wow. And I used the term, you know, oh, truth is just painful. And come to find out, truth often isn't painful. Sometimes our misunderstandings about life, sometimes our beliefs about life are actually misunderstandings, and that things are more beautiful and more, you know, and so honesty or better than what we thought, what we felt, you know. So this is talking about honesty can often be very gentle and very beautiful. Honesty is a gorgeous, amazing thing. Don't stick it in this box of being this horrible bitch that comes at you and is just like, honestly, you look like shit in that. Like, honestly, you're a fucking beautiful, gorgeous person, okay? Honestly, that's also true. So let's have some of that honesty. And that's what the King of Swords reminds me of. That kind of honesty where it's a loving, caring honesty, and we're able to be fair, and we're able to say, you know, don't let your past hold you back. Like, don't be brutal with yourself. Don't be unforgiving of yourself. You know, forgiveness is tricky because we don't want to get hurt again, and that's really valid. That's super valid. So, so it's tricky to forgive in a way that also helps keep you open to the future. I mean, that's the point of forgiveness, really, is to open up to the future. Okay, here's your possible outcome. The Tower. Sorry. This is a bit like, this is, you know, when you dump the box upside down and nobody knows which way is up. It's pretty much a disruption. A pretty big disruption is coming to your life. It could be because once you open up the secret or start talking or opening up about yourself, it could create a little bit of an issue in your life. It could create some confusion. A big change, though, is often what this is. That's the gentlest reading of this. It's a pretty big change where your whole life kind of changes pretty suddenly. So that was the sudden burst I was feeling from this thing, is the sudden lightning from the brain kind of thing. So this is one of the possible outcomes that we're looking at, is this Tower moment of where maybe you're finally honest with yourself, you know, that the situation that you're in isn't working for you, or that the relationship that you're in isn't working for you, and it's time to change it. And maybe that honesty with yourself, gentle as it is, does cause some pretty big changes in your life. And pretty surprising there. I somehow have my settings so that if I get a text, my whole phone just shuts down. So I need to go figure that out. Anyway, so hopefully that's not an additional message as part of this reading. I'll knit these two together. Anyway, so a tower moment could be coming your way. So this is fair warning, though. I think that this is really sweet, saying that there could be a major disruption as you go on this journey. You're doing an internal journey, and it's going to show up externally. So make sure you're being generous and fair with yourself. We did get the Death card, and we got the Tower card. So that's some pretty major changes. Okay? So so I don't want to minimize it. I also don't want to freak anybody out and be like, you know, because for some of you, your major change could be not that major. And for others of you, your major change is going to be hella major, and it's going to be something you remember forever. So, oh, I think I just freaked you out. So sorry, but there's the Tower card. Actually, I was thinking about the Tower card last night and realizing I hadn't seen it for a real long time. So anyway, good luck with your Tower moment. Don't let the past hold you back. Be very forgiving of yourself and others as you move forward really gently, and continue doing your work, your internal work. All right, Scorpio. Well, I hope that Tower doesn't throw you too much, and I hope you have a wonderful week.